I have here today a 2000 YZ125. Just a little background. About 2 years ago, I had a 2001 YZ125, and I loved that bike, but I do desert races, and I wanted to try something with more power. So I sold it when the market was high and got a YZ250. I loved the power on the YZ250, but I hated the vibrations. I get arm pump easy, and that just was not helping at all. And so I ended up getting a WR450. I love my WR450. It has great power, has everything I love. I don't feel like it's too powerful. The vibrations aren't there. The only problem is it's super heavy. I have an aftermarket tank on it, and it's just a beast. And I had that void. So in order to fill it, I got this 2000 125. I got a great deal on it because it was in rough shape. It was missing parts. Just to go down it really quick, I had some cracked reeds on it, and so we put the Vforce 3 reeds on it. The carburetor was fine. I'm going to go over that in just a second, but that was just the only luxurious upgrade that I did. The shifter was an original aluminum shifter, and the aluminum ends up stretching down here, and so we had to replace it with a tusk. It's nice and tight. Just little things. I was missing the front number plate. As you can see, these graphics are faded. I'm not graphics, plastics are faded. I've got graphics coming in today. We'll throw those on. They're just cheap $50 eBay ones. These rollers on the top and bottom are both missing, so just threw some new rollers on. Front sprocket was a 12 and stock is 13, so I went to 13. And then this rear sprocket had a 50 on it, which is great, but the teeth were willowed out, and I had one sitting around, and so I threw it on. That came off my WR450. Then I also threw on a brand new chain, since I'm already getting a new front and rear sprocket. The rear brake was locked up and the wheel would not spin. In order to fix that, all I did was just take the rear wheel off. You take off your brake pads, and then you just push in the piston, and it fixed it, and it works just fine now. I've got stock exhaust, which is fine. I'm leaving the exhaust on there. The bar was original bars. There's the 7/8 steel bars, and they were bent a little bit, and to fix that, I just had some 1/8 bars sitting around, and so I got the adapter, and it raises it ever so slightly, but not enough that I really can notice a difference. And so we'll see if this adds some stiffness to the front end as well. Upgraded to ASV clutch lever. I love these levers. I got rid of that stock one. On a YZ125, you can one finger it all day long, and ASV just makes it easier with this particular one. I put some flag handguards, new grips on there, and the seat was already updated. It looks good. I'm leaving it. Eventually I want to do a thrill seeker seat. I was missing this guide for your front brake, and just 3D printed one of those. It works really well. I've done this before, and the only other thing is I'm just missing some knobbies on that rear tire, so we'll eventually replace that. Rear tire's got good knobbies. Into this with everything that I've done, with the exception of the Lectron Carb, I'm in at about 1700. Oh, we also did the bearings on the front and rear tires, so not too bad. The front forks were just rebuilt. It has a brand new piston in it, and now I want to dive in a little bit on this Lectron carburetor. So with this being a 2000 YZ125, I have a 36 carb on there, and I've had Lectron in the past. I've had the Lectron in the past as well. I had that on my 250, and I loved it. The power was phenomenal, and I loved not jetting anything. I could just get on it and ride. If I was here in southern Utah, northern Utah, winter, summer, it didn't matter. It just ran, and it ran really good. The only problem I ever had with it was after I traveled to the area that I was going to ride at, sometimes even with it turned off, it would flood the carb. And so I'd have to kick it for a minute. But once you got it started, after traveling, it would start first kick almost every time. Every once in a while, which I think I was running it slightly rich, it would I would kill it. If I stalled it, it would I'd have to open the throttle wide open to get it to start. But that was literally the only problem I ever had with the Lectron 38 on my YZ250. So with this being a Lectron 38 going on a 36, I did not buy a new intake adapter. I left the stock one. All you have to do is heat it up with a heat gun. Just be careful not to go crazy turbo on it. I put it on mid setting, blasted it for 30 seconds, and then I could pop on this larger carb, and it popped on pretty easy. I did pull this back and out of the way, and it makes it a lot easier if you can pull your subframe up, and that way you can push on it without pushing on any of the adjustment pieces. On this Lectron Carb I got off eBay, and I got it for an amazing deal. And the reason why I think is because all the adjustments were way out of whack. So the idle was turned in all the way. This power jet was turned out like 3 or 4 full turns. It only needs to be turned out 1 turn. And so I think this was just running crappy for the guy, and so he sold it for dirt cheap. It has the thumb adjusters on it, so you can pop those off with just your thumbs, no tools, and adjust your metering rod. Another thing that I did for this one that I didn't do with my 250 is I bought the new accelerator metering rod. Haven't tried that out yet. I'm super excited to try it out. It's supposed to give you more power bottom end. I've got a 2000 YZ125, and so I can't do the Apex head. I was hoping I could, and I found out that they started making them at 2001, so I missed it by a year. And I've done the Apex heads before, and they add so much grunt. You can lug it around. So I'm hoping this accelerator metering rod will do what I need it to do. I'll give you guys an update on it.